Morehead State volleyball coach Jaime Gordon joining us on MSUEagles.com. And coach, a 3-0 loss to St. Louis tonight. It seemed like one of those matches where you just couldn't get anything in rhythm. St. Louis, my observation, their service game really just took you guys completely out of your offense, and it showed in the score.
Yeah, you know, our ball control is usually something that we pride ourselves on. You know, St. Louis is a great team, and they tremendous serving team. They really didn't allow us to get into a passing rhythm. Even how they started off, they dropped a real short ball to start off the match, and then we're constantly driving us deep and short, and they did a good job of picking the right rotations and where to attack. So they did a nice job, but still I expect our team to execute that ball control component at a little bit higher level. And then, you know, the tough thing with that is that when you're not in system, you have to rely on the outsides a lot, and it's hard to put that much responsibility and that much load on their shoulders, especially against such a quality defensive team as well, like St. Louis. And you know, unfortunately, we couldn't get anything necessarily rolling offensively.
And that showed a little bit just because those guys, Aaron and Courtney and stuff, were having to hit so much out of system, I think, and unfortunately they caused a lot of errors, and just too many errors tonight, really.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we had an error percentage of about 23, so that means almost 1 out of every 4 swings was an error. And again, a lot of that is a result of what St. Louis was doing in their defense and their block and their blocking scheme, and they were doing a good job of releasing out on us when we were out of system, and that made it even more difficult for our outsides. You know, we had some success a little bit early on with Alex Fitzmaurice on the right side and some of those out of system situations, but it didn't take them long to make some adjustments and make it hard. Ultimately, against a quality team, you've got to be running all 3 options. You know, and the other part is that we also weren't able to utilize somebody like Colby Cameron from an offensive standpoint either.
Defensively, it seemed like a little bit of a hard time too. It looked like St. Louis was running that kind of quick offense, even similar to maybe what Belmont ran here last year, and their transition game was just kind of throwing off. You weren't able to get, typically, you know, Leslie in the back row seems to get to a lot of balls, right, and it just seems like they weren't able to. They're just a step slow maybe tonight.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to kind of put your finger on what the cause was. It's easy to sit back and look at the result. And yeah, St. Louis does run a really good quick offense. They run it quick out to the pins. They're very fast in transition with their middles, which really focuses or really forces our middles to be engaged in their defensive transition. Yeah, we've usually been able to rely a little bit more on what we do out of the back row with Leslie and Lindsay and Aaron and Courtney. But again, that wasn't quite there, and our block wasn't quite there. You know, it's hard to really take one piece that we could rally around, and that's something when a team is struggling and you've got a great team that's kind of just rolling and pressing on. You've got to find something. You say, okay, this is the one thing that we're going to be able to kind of step back and really make our stand on, and we weren't able to do that tonight.
Are you concerned at all? I know you mentioned before about blocking, and your team typically a pretty good blocking team. It doesn't seem like the numbers for blocks have been piling up so far. Are you just not focusing on blocking as much right now, or is it that will come maybe?
I hope so. Yeah. I hope it'll come. It needs to come.
Because you're a very athletic team, and it seems like
when when we got 6'5" on the right side, and we've got both of our middles that are touching well above 10 foot, and we should be a little bit better, and we just got to stay disciplined and make sure that from the mental side of things, we know where our attackers are, we know what they're doing, and that'll come. I really believe that will come.
Quick turnaround with 2 more matches tomorrow, so forget about this one and learn from it at least, and
absolutely
turn around quickly in another 2 tough matches tomorrow.
Yeah, IUPUI looked great today. We've watched film on them from earlier on in the week, and they real solid team. One of the things that's going to be testing us is that they also run a fairly quick offense. So hopefully we can learn some lessons from this match, and we'll have a good opportunity to apply against again 2 very good teams in IUPUI and Montana State.
Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck tomorrow.
All right, thanks, man.